Greetings in the name of Jesus today. Welcome back to the kitchen, the famous Carmen's Cajun Kitchen. And today we're doing chicken and dumplings. I have boiled the chicken, deboned it, and I'm going to turn this on high now, get it started boiling. Got some sliced eggs here prepared. I boil these ahead of time, and we're going to use these in just a minute. But I'm going to show you the most important thing about making chicken and dumplings, and that's the dumplings. Some people use flour tortillas, some people use biscuits, but this is the real way that you make a dumpling. Okay, we're going to crack one raw egg, a half a cup of water, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of sage. Okay, I've already made dumplings here ahead of time because they really need to dry out prior to cutting them. We're going to scramble this up. And we're going to put in a heaping cup of flour. I'm going to scramble this up. And this is the dumplings. Now, this batch will make one of these. I put 1 cup of flour here, and you're going to stir this up really good. And you see how thick and pasty it is. And you just pour it out on here, on top of that flour. And we're going to put another cup of flour on top. Then we're going to press it out as much as we can before we get the rolling pin. And we can use these dumplings in the chicken and dumpling recipe, but like I said, I really like for them to dry out a little bit more. We're going to roll it and roll it. And you're going to make it about as thin as a pie crust. Christy, this is what you asked me to cook for you, so I'm teaching you right now, baby girl. Oh, by the way, I did cover the table with wax paper. And the easiest thing to cut this with is a pizza cutter. I've used this forever. Instead of trying to pull it with a knife. And there's no special way to do it. You could cut it small, big. I like them maybe 2 inches by 2 inches. Might be a little bit bigger. Uh-oh. If you mess up, that's okay too. Like I said, this is just the broth. Probably about a gallon of broth from the chicken. I took all the chicken out, deboned it, and then I poured the broth back in the pot. My broth is boiling. When you put your dumplings in, don't try to put them together. Just drop them separate, otherwise they'll stick. But it doesn't last but just a second, so once they start floating to the top, they don't stick anymore. Just leave the flour on them. You'll see why. It'll make your broth real thick in just a minute. I hope you're watching this, Sissy. See how they're floating in the pot? The new ones that you put in, they're going to sink to the bottom, and they'll be floating before too long. These haven't made the dry part. They haven't dried out enough. Okay, this is the last ones we did, and they're not dried out quite as much as I'd like it to be, but that's okay, they still work. So if you're in a hurry, you can use the soft ones too. Okay, since your chicken's already cooked and your eggs are already cooked, all you need to do is wait till your dumplings are cooked. So we're going to let them cook for maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll finish it up. See how thick this broth is getting already? I wanted to tell you too, don't use self-rising flour when you make your dumplings. Use all-purpose flour. There are some things that I use self-rising flour for, but dumplings are not one of them. See this little piece of white in there? That means that it's not all the way cooked. So, okay, like this one. That one's not cooked yet. So you'll get the idea once they start turning a clearer color and all the white's gone. I've turned my fire down pretty low so that they can cook more. But it hasn't been quite 10 minutes yet, so we're just going to give it a few more minutes. Okay. Now the dumplings are all ready. We're going to dump in the chicken. Stir that around. By the way, I used 3 legs and 3 thighs for this chicken that's deboned. Okay, now we're dumping in the eggs. And we're going to turn this off, and we're just going to let it set. That's how easy it is to make chicken and dumplings. Thank you for watching. God bless all of you. Christy and Amy, I love you with all my heart. Jared Michael, next week I'm going to do the boulette in memory of Mama Clem, and Caleb and Aiden and Lauren. I love you with all my heart.